Yes, no, maybe so. Are we live yet? This thing is the goofiest piece of nonsense ever. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, 3. It says the event is starting. What is going on? Why is it so slow today? YouTube must be having problems. Oh, it's working. We're here. We're live. We've been live. Wow. A minute 07. And we've been live and didn't even know it. What's going on, guys, girls, Ghostrobo? Live stream weekend time. I'm going to tweet the link once more and let people know it's live. And I'm going to be taking questions on Twitter. This is the weekly Q&A stream. Like I said, I'm kind of balancing a weekly Q&A me stream and a game stream. So the game stream will be a little bit later in the week. I think I'm planning a call-in show for next weekend if I can get it done. So anyways, questions on Twitter. I can't take them on YouTube because the comments update so rapidly and so fast. It's really, really hard. So twitter.com/ghostrobo. Add me there. Ask me questions. Hashtag AskGhost for a little bit of priority. Can you see this cup? I think you can. You could probably see me drinking, actually, because it was live before I was live. Yeah. Anyways, I want to address a couple things right off the bat. Questions I've gotten from a lot of people that I want to just say, what's up? One, the PS3 contest where I'm giving away my PlayStation 3 and a copy of The Last of Us. That is going to end tonight at 11:59 p.m. So at that point, I will close the entries and I will look through and pick the winner. I've been trying to go through some of them. Surprisingly, there are way more entries than I expected. I've had at least 2,000 so far. That's a lot of names to read. So I'm going to probably take the day tomorrow to figure out who the winner is, and they probably will be announced Tuesday. I thought I was going to announce it Monday, but I didn't expect to have literally thousands of entries. And so in order to be fair and try to go through them all, I need some time. Otherwise, I would just skip most of them. So not going to do that. I will announce the winner in a video on Tuesday. A couple other questions about that, like how will you get the PS3? Well, I'll mail it to you. I'm not going to personally deliver it to you. I know that would be awesome, but I can't really do that right now. So it'll be mailed. And yeah, let's not talk about that anymore. I've gotten so many weird questions about that contest. I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. And anyways, most people have done a great job. There have been some really cool names. I don't want to even mention any of the ones that I think are awesome. And again, this is my personal preference, so you might not think the name is the best in the world, but if it touches me and hits me in a certain way, then I'm going to go for it. But we're taking questions on Twitter right now. Twitter.com/ghostrobo. AskGhost would be a great hashtag. And then we can talk on there. This is going to be, like I said, a Q&A live stream. We'll do a game live stream in the middle of the week and probably a call-in show next weekend. Let's see. Question number uno comes from Merciful Gamer, who asks, what is your least anticipated launch title for the PS4 or Xbox One? Ooh, that's a tricky one. I'm going to just instantly disqualify all multi-platform stuff, all cross-gen stuff, so like, Madden and Watch Dogs, I'm going to throw that out, and just focus on the exclusives. And my least anticipated is trying to decide between Knack for the PS4 and no, you know what it is? It's freaking Drive Club. I have no interest in car games for the most part. Simulation ones. Forza I might play just because it's really pretty. And I have played some Forza before, so I have some familiarity with it. Drive Club I have no interest in. It's a free game. I don't even know if I'll download it. I know that sounds silly, but because I'm getting both platforms, like I don't really need an extra racing game. That doesn't really make much sense. A question from Hawkeye Ninja, and I get this question a lot. Like it's phrased differently, but it's like, will you play GTA 5? Will you play Call of Duty Ghosts? Will you play Watch Dogs? Guys, if there's a really big game, I'm most likely going to be playing it. If it's one that I really think will be cool, I'm going to feature it. And typically, the most hyped games are really cool, so I'm not going to be skipping out on something like a Grand Theft Auto 5 or like a Assassin's Creed 4. No, I'm not going to skip out on that. So you don't have to worry. I appreciate the questions, because I know you want me to play them, but I will be playing almost all that stuff this fall. Fall is almost upon us and it's about to get crazy. July is pretty empty. Sad but true. But in about 5 more weeks, so we do have a big chunk of kind of empty release time, but in about 5 weeks, sort of that third week of August, when Splinter Cell, Disney Infinity, XCOM, and Saints Row 4 come out, so many games, things get just bananas from there. It's going to be a freaking just Christmas time through the entire fall, September, October, November, and some up. December will be loud. People are, ugh, my guys, I'm gonna be live streaming. Let's keep it kind of down, and then everyone's just like, blah! Including Kobe, my dog, who seems to just scream at any free chance. The next question comes from Alex, who says, "What newest game would you recommend that I buy?" So, like the newest thing that I think you should buy. If I had to, I mean, Last of Us, obviously, but that's a little bit, I guess, old in the grand scheme of things. Rogue Legacy is super awesome. That game is $15 on Steam. Might even be on sale this weekend, and I would recommend that wholeheartedly. A fantastic indie title, one of my favorites of all time, and definitely one of the best games this year, even though it's only $15. Let's see. Mark Robird says, "What are your thoughts on the upcoming Superman game that's supposed to be styled like Batman Arkham Asylum?" I've never heard of this game, but if it exists, I think that'd be really cool. Superman is one of the hardest characters to do in video game format. There have been some notoriously terrible Superman games on consoles like the N64, PlayStation 1, and stuff like that, but if done right, it could be cool. I think you'd have to focus more on an intimate storyline and not do the whole big open world Superman saves the day type thing. Maybe he could save the day, but on a very, like, closed down level or something. I don't know, I just think like him flying through the air and shooting laser beams at spaceships and carrying the sun around doesn't translate well to a fun game. So I don't know, I would be open to it. I think that we're kind of approaching superhero overload in a lot of ways, movies, but that Superman movie was really good. It surprised me. It's my favorite movie of the year so far, and really surprised the heck out of me because I'm not a big DC fan in general, and then especially not a big Superman fan. But I thought they did a really, really nice job with the movie, and I made a review about that. Let's see. Lots of people are making hot chocolate today. It's really cool to see on Twitter. I love it when people tweet me pictures like, "Here I am waiting for the live stream with your hot chocolate." I feel bad. I don't even have hot chocolate today, but I do have my brother's Charmander, so we're all good. I'm actually in my brother's room right now because he's at work, and I figured it would be the quietest place in the entire house. Because my room isn't my room really anymore. That was here. I don't know. I've moved around so much; it's just gotten crazy. As much as I hate moving, I'm kind of excited for the next move and be able to like totally decorate and own my space whenever that happens. Who knows? Let's see. HSHAHID92 says, "Do you think the Xbox One and PS4 streaming features will help change the way you record content for YouTube?" No. I think it's a cool addition for people. It's not going to modify anything. There's no guarantee of the quality of that. I don't know if you can even upload that footage directly to YouTube. And even if you could, I'd want to record it and have it local on my hard drive. I'd want to be able to edit the footage. I'd want to be able to mess with it. I'd want to be able to save it if I need it. I'd want to be able to... those features don't affect YouTube version anyway. I think that they might start a trend of a lot of people that normally wouldn't do YouTube trying to do YouTube, but for the major players in the YouTube sort of scene, we're not going to use that at all. I can pretty much guarantee that across the board. Whoever you're watching, there's no flexibility with something like that, and so it doesn't really help out in our case. Darn Blue Crab, nice name, asks, "Ghost, are you left-handed or right-handed?" I'm left-handed. Me and my dad, well, this looks like my right hand, but it's my left hand. Me and my dad are left-handed. Noah is pretty ambidextrous, and my mom and Jake are both right-handed. I do play baseball and golf and hockey right-handed, but I throw, right, eat, and shoot left-handed. So my left hand is my finesse hand. I think my right arm is technically stronger, as weird as that sounds. I don't know, though. I'm definitely left-handed, though, and that's that. Let's see. Immortal Monster says, "Will you do more Cube World?" I think so. I really think that game is very cool. It's the first time I've been excited by a Minecraft-type game in a long while because it implements a lot more features that appeal to me and sort of my gaming sensibilities. It's not just like, go and build with Legos in 3D space. There's actual character progression, there's towns, there's multiplayer, there's objectives, there's things to do. If people are curious about my shirt, I'm getting a couple tweets about that. I don't even know what this is supposed to really... It says quad, and then there's like 4 M's, and it says Full Moon Souvenir Shop. It's supposed to be a Borderlands 2 t-shirt, and I don't know what it's from. I was going through my Borderlands 2 series, and I can't find Full Moon Souvenir Shop Quad MMM or whatever the heck. I don't even know. Maybe someone can tell me on Twitter or something. I don't know. I just like, it's a really bright blue. I don't know if it plays on the camera, but it's a really vibrant blue, and I just thought it was a cool design. Let's see. Danigel257 says, "How are you?" I'm doing really good. I'm not as sleepy as I was. The past few days I've been like a freaking zombie robo. Gotten this bad cycle of going to bed at like 2, 3 in the morning every single night from E3, and it sort of never stopped. But last night I went to bed at 1:30, which is still late, but it was the best sleep I've had in a long time. Randy Hyatt asks, "What am I looking forward to that's coming to the PS3 and Xbox One?" Well, the big games for the fall are obviously GTA 5, Watch Dogs, and Assassin's Creed 4. I think that you'll be playing on your main consoles. Not to mention Call of Duty Ghosts, Battlefield 4, stuff like that. But talking about non-annualized, Assassin's Creed is kind of annualized. But I think Watch Dogs will be really big. I think GTA 5 will be really big. I'm very excited for both those. I'm also excited for that August stuff. I think Splinter Cell could be fun. I'm excited to play Saints Row 4. I think the mixture of sort of that wacky world now with superpowers appeals to me more. The humor doesn't really gel with me in that game, but I think the superpowers look really good. When I saw it at E3 and PAX, it looked like a lot of fun. I think it could be a cool game to sort of mess around and have a good time with. Beyond that, I'm more excited for, if you're talking about like current systems that are out, I'm more excited for Wii U and 3DS stuff. We've got Mario and Luigi Dream Team, a new Mario Golf, I think a new Mario Party for 3DS. The new Zelda Link Between Two Worlds is amazing for 3DS. Played that at E3, loved it. Super Mario 3D World, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Zelda Wind Waker, lots of great stuff coming out on those guys. I'll be buying most multi-platform like Xbox, PlayStation games on the new consoles. It's going to be weird because depending on when they launch, you could have an instance where like Assassin's Creed 4 comes out first on PC, 360, and PS3, and then like 2 weeks later launches on PlayStation 4, and 3 weeks later launches on Xbox One. So I might be, I don't know, I want to play the games when they first come out, but then I also want to see the HD Super version, so I might be having to buy a lot of games twice this fall, which is going to be very awkward. Helen R. asks, if I could be anywhere in the world right now, where would I be? Right this moment, I'd probably, anywhere in the world. Probably be in Korea right now, because it's Rosa, her 21st birthday today, and I think that would be kind of fun and special. To be there and say happy birthday to her. Let's see. Julian asks, what do I use to record gameplay? A lot of people ask this question all the freaking time. And I think I've said it many times, but it's one of those, like, my name is Zach. I have to say that over and over again. I'm 23. I blah, blah, blah. I use an Elgato Game Capture HD for console stuff, both PS3, 360, and Wii U. And then on PC, I use a mix of Fraps, PlayClaw, and DxTory. Depending on the game, some games don't work, especially indie stuff is a little bit tricky. Sometimes there's not compatibility with one or another of the programs, so I use those kind of just sporadically depending on what I need. I prefer PlayClaw because it condenses the files the most while still retaining good quality. Fraps seems to be the most universally accepted, and DxTory is used when I need something weird for a game or a demo or something that doesn't seem to fit normally. If you just joined, I'm taking questions on Twitter. Twitter.com/Ghostrobo. I can't answer the YouTube comments. This is always a thing, but I can't. They come through too fast and too weird and in huge chunks. So if you want to be seen and or heard, Twitter.com/YouTube. No. You could go there too, but it's Twitter.com/Ghostrobo is where you're going to find me. Hashtag AskGhost. I've gained a ton of new followers lately, which has been awesome. Hello to all you guys there. And the next question comes from Joseph, who says, will you buy GTA or Watch Dogs first? Well, GTA comes out I think 2 months early, a month and a half early, so I'll definitely be getting that one first. Much questions about Xbox One or PS4. I'm getting both systems. I've made this clear many times. For my channel and for me personally, I really think there's good stuff on both. I want to play the stuff on both. Killzone is my most anticipated PlayStation 4 title this year. Infamous Second Son, my most anticipated PlayStation 4 title long term. Dead Rising 3 is my most anticipated Xbox One title this year. And Destiny, well, I guess the multi-platform. So we'll say Titanfall is my most anticipated Xbox One title long term. Let's see. Optimister says, I'm super excited for your E3 Game Awards. You know when you're going to do it. Thanks. Yeah, in the next day or so, I'm compiling my winners, and I really am trying to get that up as soon as I can. I've been very, very busy with videos, so it's been tricky to get stuff out, but I will have it soon, promise. And another question from Matthew R. Flow. Are you going to play Dead Rising 3? I am. I just talked about that, and I saw an extended demo at E3 behind closed doors, and it was very cool. Doing some stuff that I think streamlines the game, and some people are like, no, it's not hardcore Dead Rising 3 anymore, but for me, it alleviates a lot of the frustration, and I think will make for a much more fun experience overall, and so I'm pretty excited for that. Let's see. The XL Boss says, Ghost, this is my first live stream. I'm really excited. Bam. Very cool. You are awesome. When did you get into shooters? The first shooter I played is probably GoldenEye for N64. No, I played Return to Castle Wolfenstein? Castle Wolfenstein? What's it called? There's a PC game. It's the main. It's the first 3D like Wolfenstein game. Return to Castle Wolfenstein, or is it just called Wolfenstein? I don't know. That's the one I played first, and then I didn't play anything until GoldenEye. So, I guess Wolfenstein, but GoldenEye was fun. I mean, if you're talking like modern, the first game that like really got me obsessively into that kind of stuff would have been Halo 2. Halo 2, I think. Let's see. Ooh, interesting question from John. He says, "What is your preference in terms of these two relationships, Clem and Lee, or Ellie and Joel?" Ellie and Joel, I think, was a stronger relationship. And I've mentioned this before, but I think the reason it is because Ellie is strong, but you still care about her. Clementine is very vulnerable, and so that's sort of a guarantee that you're going to be like, oh, like the same thing that people watch cat videos and be like, oh, it's because it's like vulnerable and small and cute and fragile, and they managed to make Ellie still, evoke a lot of the same emotions, but through a position of greater strength, and I thought that was a bigger achievement. Plus, Joel was more of a fully fleshed out character. Lee was, you were making decisions for him, so I guess it's a little bit more of you, maybe. But he was kind of also, like, in some ways, a bumbling dope. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way, but he was just sort of like, oh, like zombies, what are we going to do? And you didn't really, I guess he came into his own as the series went on, but to me, he felt more like a proxy, whereas Joel's an actual character, so the relationship was stronger between Joel and Ellie, at least from my perspective. Let's see. Sebastio Lopezda says, "Have I played Animal Crossing New Leaf? I haven't yet. I have the game, and I've never played. I've never played an Animal Crossing game. I don't know if I'm going to find them fun or boring. I don't really like MMOs, and I'm not a fan of games like The Sims, so either it's going to be a nightmare of a game for me, or I'll really like it. Maybe I'll find out and let you guys know, but I'm not sure right now. I haven't played it. Let's see. James D. Curtis, what's your favorite animal or pet? Well, my favorite pet is my only pet, Kobe, my miniature poodle. Of 13 years, she's going to turn 13 this year. I think we've had her for 12 and a half, which is crazy. We got her when she's like 6 weeks old? 7? Something like that. My favorite animal used to be tigers. I don't think so anymore. I don't really think I have a favorite animal. I'd have to think on that. I don't know. Is that weird that I don't have a favorite animal? I'm in my brother's room. He has favorite animals. He has stuff all over, like this leopard, cheetah, cat thing. Or like there's bears and things, or this zebra, or this amazing coughing spinning top, which isn't an animal, but Pokemon, can they be my favorite animal? That's my winning choice. Caleb says, "Hello again, Ghost. What's your biggest surprise from E3?" My biggest surprise from E3 is Dying Light. That is the sort of real next-gen sequel to Dead Island. Riptide was atrocity. But Dying Light is basically Dead Island mixed with Mirror's Edge and way better graphics. I'm really fingers crossed that they can deliver a fully featured experience. From what they showed, the game could go one of two ways. Think Dead Island combat, but with parkour. And this day-night cycle where there's these psychotic skeleton zombies, sort of like the movie Warm Bodies, if you've ever seen that, but that chase you and kill you in one hit at night. And so you have to go out and do missions in the open world and then make sure that you're stealthing around at night so you don't get spotted by these demon things. At this point, the game could either become an amazing amalgamation of a lot of genres, free-running, sort of Mirror's Edge style, with open-world Dead Island style, with a little bit of Dead Rising 3 type thing, because they were packing a ton of zombies on the screen with cool, very intense combat. They had like X-ray moves from Mortal Kombat, almost. And it could be that, and like really fun, like, oh, dynamic missions. The one that they showed in the demo was this airdrop happened, and you had to go collect these packages. Or it could be just Dead Rising with pretty graphics. I'm sorry, Dead Island with pretty graphics, in which case I'd be very bummed. The features they showed could either be very game-defining or very bullet-pointy, because the world was structured, at least what I saw, in a way that you did not need to do the free running. And if it's just like, oh, I can run on roofs, or I can run on the road, I don't know, that team makes me nervous. Techland makes me nervous. They're making like another basically Dead Island clone later this year. What's that game called? Like something from Hell, or Hellraid? I think it's Hellraid. I don't know what they do there. Craigie Baby Loves You says, "What's your favorite sandwich?" I don't typically eat a lot of sandwiches because I'm on a pretty eat very different. I don't eat anything usually with wheat, sugar, or dairy. No, all natural, all organic. But when I do, I like turkey sandwiches, like with gluten-free bread, turkey breast, lettuce, mayonnaise. I mean, it's all organic and stuff. But um, I don't know. I can't. I don't have like a specific favorite. Sandwiches with good bread, good meat, and good like chicken or turkey and vegetables, I guess. Um, let's see. Anthony says, in the Last of Us multiplayer, can you also play as the Hunters team? Yes, you can. You pick at the beginning what faction you want to align with, either the Hunters or the Fireflies. I chose the Fireflies, so I didn't want to be angry, machete-bearded men. Let's see. Brandon says, what games have you pre-ordered for next-gen systems? None. I don't pre-order. I think pre-ordering is like one of the biggest scams around, especially at a store like GameStop. I think it's fine if you want to pre-order like on Amazon, or if you really want to pre-order from Best Buy or something because you want some... I know they always do like maps or costumes or levels even for specific retailer based pre-orders, but the whole thing like you gotta pre-order otherwise it's gonna be sold out. How many times have you seen a game sell out? I've seen consoles sell out. How many times have you seen a game sell out? Since we did Halo 4, you can't find it. Maybe if you're pre-ordering a collector's edition, okay, but the whole thing of like, oh, did you want to put your name down or your money down in any game at GameStop boggles my mind. It's annoying, it's invasive, and there's no impetus to pre-order, really. I get every game on launch day, and I don't pre-order any of them. You're not going to find a game, unless it's like some super niche Japanese title that you want to get the collector's edition of. You're not going to find a game that like, oh, you can't walk into the store and pick up Watch Dogs on launch day. I don't know, pre-ordering to me is just very silly, always has been. I pre-ordered some stuff when I was little before the internet, because there were fewer options for me. But, I mean, I can think of at least 10 stores within like a 10-minute radius that carry video games, as well as Amazon, eBay, like a million, I don't know. To me, pre-ordering is silly. Alex says, what's your favorite candy bar? I don't really eat candy. There's some, I don't know what the brand is. It's something like, they sponsor like animals, and it's organic, free trade, dark chocolate with raspberries. And it's really good, and I don't remember the brand. And I have some in my kitchen, but I'll have to get it and think of it later. Let's see. Hogsade. Have you heard Jay-Z's Magna Carta Holy Grail? And if yes, what are your thoughts? I love it. I waited up. The app crashed because Jay-Z released his album 3 days early to Samsung phone users, and there were so many people trying to download it, the app crashed, but I still waited up to download a leak, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. Been a really great place lately for good like rap music. I thought Born Sinner from J. Cole was great. I thought Yeezus, after like 2 or 3 listens from Kanye, was great. I really like Kid Ink's Almost Home EP, and Magna Carta Holy Grail is fantastic. My favorite songs are Tom Ford and Holy Grail. I also like BBC. I also like Jay-Z Blue, and Picasso Baby's okay. It's a pretty just stellar album overall. He delivered. Let's see. A lot of people ask my favorite game of all time. I don't know. I talk about this a lot, and I don't really have a specific favorite. It's hard for me to compile a set like ordered 5, 7, 9, 10 list. Games like Zelda Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, Super Mario World, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum, Uncharted 2, Last of Us, Bioshock Infinite, Bioshock 1. These all play a part in my heart, but I don't know which is my ultimate favorite. I think that's almost an impossibility. I don't know if I could ever pick one game. Let's see. Ariel Kaplan says, why did you buy a white PlayStation 3 when the PlayStation 4 is almost out? Well, I had to buy one so that I could play games until November when that comes out. Otherwise, I'd be out of luck. My PS3 filled up. It was 160 gigs. It's full. I transferred all the data to the new one because it's 500 gigs, and now I can ship it off to one lucky winner, which I thought would be more fun than just expanding the hard drive. I know I could have just got a bigger hard drive, yeah, but I thought the white PS3 was so pretty and sexy, and I wanted a smaller unit. It looks great on the shelf. It's 500 gigs. I like it a lot, and then it allowed me to do an awesome giveaway and bestow my baby PS3 upon one of you lucky fans. Let's see. Blade 101 Money says, hi, Ghost, I have a question. He's watched some of Far Cry 3 and some of Skyrim. Which game would you recommend? Well, for me, I like Far Cry 3 better. I think it's more... the pacing is a little bit more like upbeat for me. Skyrim is a game where you can wander for hours and feel like you get nothing done, and I really struggle with games like that. I don't know why, because I like adventures, I like long journeys, I like good character creation and stuff, but there's something about the mix of the slightly awkward combat with just I don't know. I'm not the biggest high fantasy fan in the first place, and then I think I'd rather be shooting guns than wielding bows or staffs and staves. And the combat just doesn't really do it for me in Skyrim. So I would choose Far Cry 3 if I were you. It's a prettier game, in my opinion. I like the shooting a lot, and there was a goofy storyline, but at least it rolls along nicely, and the missions are pretty cool. Um, I'm not usually the kind of person that goes and like marathons, open world games, and 100% them. I kind of play it for the storyline and move on because I'd rather play a bunch of games than really get invested in one. Obviously, Skyrim is a huge world with hundreds of hours of gameplay to give to you, so it depends what you really like. Do you want more melee? Do you want more shooting? Do you want high fantasy, or do you want modern jungle? You can't go wrong really with either. I still highly regard Skyrim, even though it's not my personal favorite. I prefer Fallout to Elder Scrolls. I don't know. There's just something about the game, and I've always wondered why I can't really get into it. Because I've tried Skyrim many times to try to get back into it. I tried the Dragonborn DLC. I wanted to love it. I don't know. It just something about it. And now I feel like I want to go write an essay about why I don't like Skyrim as much as I want to, and try to figure out why. I'm the kind of gamer that wants to be into more games than I am. And the sad truth is, I'm not the kind of person that likes to get all in on one thing. Like I can't do 100 hours of League of Legends. I can't do 200 hours of Call of Duty multiplayer. I bounce around. I get bored easily. I like checking out fresh stuff. I like the accomplishment of completing a game. I like the feeling and satisfaction of beating a level. I can't do MMOs. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. Let's see. Avery Marsh says, if I could add one character to Injustice Gods Among Us, who would it be and why? I heard a really good suggestion from a fan the other day, and that was Poison Ivy. I think that would be so cool. She could have crazy special move, and just like whipping her vines, and you could do a lot of awesome attacks and grabs, and I think she could be a unique character, and her throw would be like some really creepy kiss or something. I don't know, I think that would be really cool. I like that suggestion. I thought it was pretty darn awesome. Another like Batman villain I think would be cool. I mean, they have obviously Joker, Harley, and Batman, and Nightwing, and whatever else, Catwoman, but another like, and Bane. So Batman's pretty tapped out, but I would love to see Poison. I think that'd be really cool. Let's see. Let's see. Extreme Soul says, "Can I make a gameplay of NBA 2K13?" Sports games are weird because I love them and play them a lot, but I don't know how well they translate to videos, especially for my audience. So I'll probably do like a couple videos of like the new sports stuff when it launches, but after that I don't do much because it's hard to do like a walkthrough of that, and I feel like the overall Ghost Robo army isn't that into the sports games. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's just kind of a hard. Like me and Jake literally play NBA 2K13 almost every other day. I put more hours into that game 2K13 than any other game in the last 12 months. But it's just one like, do you just record it over and over again gameplay? I don't know how to make it exciting unless it's just the banter and commentary. I think stuff like Injustice is more fun because it's short burst fights and you can kind of get a bunch of them in. I'd be open to doing more sports games. I think it's just kind of something that I've never really found the right way that feels good to me to do it. If you're just joining, it's live stream time. Twitter.com/Ghostrobo. We're taking questions. Hashtag AskGhost for a little bit of line priority. I'm scrolling through. There are currently 418 questions queued up, and I've already got through a bunch of them. A lot of people ask, like, can I follow them? Can I follow them? I don't really follow very many people on Twitter. It's not because I don't like you. It's not because you're not cool. It's not because you're not the bestest. It's just that I'm not. I like to keep my Twitter feed very slimmed down so I can actually follow it. I know some people follow like 20,000 people, and I'm guessing they never even read their timeline. But I do like to read my timeline, so that's just the way I work stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna zoom up a little bit here. Blue Dude asks someone to play Smash Brothers when it comes out on Wii U. Absolutely, it'd be a great game for my brothers and me especially. Andrew Gately says, what indie games can I recommend that are on PlayStation 3 and Vita? My favorite one of the year is Guacamelee. That game is fantastic. Must play. I was really disappointed by the demo, but once I got into it, like the combat is really fully featured. It's fast-paced. It's very skill-based and quite challenging. I love that one a lot. Other stuff, I don't know. I think Guacamelee has to be a must-purchase, and just on the slight chance that that's the one that you have. I also like Thomas Was Alone. That's a really interesting indie game on Vita and PS3. I think it's a PSN crossplay title. Sound Shapes is also awesome on Vita. Let's see. Not answering your question, MJ the MC. If you were given a job at either Microsoft or Sony, which would you choose? Whichever one let me get more hands-on time designing games. I don't want to pick favorites. It seems like I can't make a single video without people being like, "You're a Sony fanboy. You're an Xbox fanboy." Wubba wubba wubba. Who is my favorite Pokemon? Says Ethan. My favorite Pokemon used to be Charizard. I don't really keep up with Pokemon as much anymore, so I know there's like a billion new guys that I don't know. I am going to be playing X and Y on the channel, though, so I'm excited for that. And maybe we'll find a new favorite then, new starters, and a whole new cavalcade of Pokemon to enjoy. Let's see. Cyber Wyvern says, "What PS4 game do I recommend most at launch? Killzone Shadowfall." I mean, there's going to be multi-platform stuff. I'm talking exclusives, Killzone Shadowfall. If we're talking multi-platform, I don't know. Watch Dogs vs. Assassin's Creed 4 should be cool. One of them is bound to be good, right? Ubisoft can't have two duds. Andrew Berger says, "Why do you move so much, Ghost?" It's not really my fault or choice. My family has been very transient lately, going through a lot of stuff, and I've tried to do my best to just accommodate them and fit into their plans as best I can. I moved out to California, and then my brother ended up dropping out of USC and flying back home. My girlfriend ended up at the time leaving for her home in Korea, and I was out there by myself with a apartment that was for 2 or 3 people by myself, so it made no sense. So I came back, got an apartment here, and then just because of some financial stuff with my family and different personal stuff, I left that to move back into a weird room in my house, and I don't know where I'm going to be come this fall, but it's fine. It's okay. I'm alive and happy and well, and I'm just doing what I got to do. Let's see. Next question. Adam K., who is a big fan on Twitter, says, "Microsoft said that the cinematic Halo trailer shown at E3 wasn't for any specific Halo game." What do I think about that? I think it really is Halo 5. They didn't announce anything. I've heard rumors that they could have a secondary team throw out a interstitial Halo game, almost like ODST, before 343 is really ready for Halo 5, to give Halo 5 a little more time in the oven to really take advantage of all the Xbox One horsepower, which I think is not a bad idea. I think Halo is not as bad as Call of Duty, but it's approaching that point where it's going to be just so much of one game isn't good. Especially with a lot of new properties probably being launched and started on the new console, I think that you're going to grow tired of some of these over time. Call of Duty will always be popular, I think, at least for the foreseeable future. Titanfall might shake that up a little. Halo will be popular, but games like Gears of War, I think, are going to grow stale so fast. You can't have these same... Okay, in ancient times, when the Super Nintendo and N64 and PlayStation 1 and Genesis and all that was out, you had these very lovable characters that were very kid-friendly, and so it was almost like Mickey Mouse or something. Like, everybody loved Mario, most people loved Sonic, and you could do a lot with them and put them in any genre. Marcus Phoenix isn't a very lovable character, so therefore you're relying on the gameplay of those games, which is very specific and very graphically defined and kind of boring over time. I don't know. I think that a lot of these series are going to have to wash away. I hope they do, and in exchange for something new. Of course, there's hardcore fans that always want more Gears of War, more Halo, more this, more... Personally, I'd like to see a lot of new stuff. I'm cool with Halo 5. Halo 4 is really, really fun, but I don't want to see it be annualized. I don't want to see it... The character-driven franchises aren't what they used to be, and therefore I think it's sort of a dumb idea to just force-feed us the same games over and over again. The problem is they sell super well, and so they probably will do that till the end of time. That's why we have Final Fantasy 7000. Let's see. Tyler Burke says, "If you were on a deserted island and could only bring one game to play for the rest of your existence, what would it be?" That's a very tough question. Probably like NBA 2K14 or something, because it's pretty much infinitely replayable. I've already played so many hours of basketball games, and I never get bored of them. So, rather than some single player, I'm assuming I don't have internet on the deserted island, so I don't have multiplayer. I don't know. Maybe I would take Minecraft, even though I don't like it, because there's infinite options to do. Let's see. Francesco says, "Do you think there could be in the near future a third big console like Sony and Microsoft?" I guess you're discounting Nintendo. I think the Wii U is going to really resurge this fall. I know it's not graphically at the same level as the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, but I think they're going to do well for themselves. Again, in a similar position to Wii, but Wii was not handicapped in terms of the sales department as much as it was in its oomph department. I don't foresee Nintendo releasing a new console very soon, and I definitely don't think a random company can jump in there. Apple could do something, but that again is going to target such a different demographic. They will not be doing hardcore games. They'll be doing like a mobile type focused box. A lot of things that have launched that are pseudo consoles on Live and Ouya are kind of, in my opinion, laughable. So I don't see anyone new stepping into the scene, but I think the Wii U is going to surprise a lot of people, do really well this fall, and carry on into next spring and summer with some really awesome games, really polished experiences, and hopefully bring itself back to relevancy in terms of sales and hype and just clout in terms of gaming press. Let's see. 460 new questions. You guys are full of questions. It's awesome, though. Let's see. Honest Xavier says, and he's asking a very honest question, have you ever been forced to play a game that you really disliked just because the Ghostrobo army loved it? If so, which? Early on, I was, and then I stopped because it was too disingenuous and too frustrating to be like, I'm playing more Minecraft. If I don't like a game, I don't play it. And I've learned from myself that even if I lose views because of it, I'd rather keep my own sanity and keep my channel more about me than about every game in the freaking library catalog of gamingness, because it's going to deliver better experiences for you. The games I'm really into, Last of Us, L.A. Noire, Bioshock Infinite, those delivered my best commentary. Dead Space 3, DMC, games I really enjoy. It brings out the best in me and therefore delivers the best videos for you. If I'm going to be playing a game that I'm internally bored and sick of, I can't possibly give 100% on that. And so, yeah, there are times when I do finish a series, and if I'm frustrated with the game, just to honor that group of fans and then finish that out. I'm going to try to get better about that a lot, especially this year. But I definitely stay away from stuff that I know will get boring and or frustrating. And that's why I'm very picky choosy, like about what new series I'm going to be starting for July. Like, am I going to do Infamous 2? I want to find something that I'll really enjoy and will have a happy, good time continuing and won't stop on you guys or anything like that. So it's a tricky balance, and I've gotten better at it, so that's a good thing. Let's see, who else has questions for me on this Twitter feed? A lot of people asking about like paying for online for PS4. This one specifically from Casey. I don't think it matters. I knew they were going to do it. It's a huge stream of income that they don't really want to lose out on. So I don't blame them at all. Magic, what does that say? Magic Truffmuff. Are you excited for Project Spark? Like me, I think it's going to be amazing. I don't really think it's going to be so hot. Maybe it will be for a subset of people. Like Little Big Planet, there was a hardcore community that created levels very intensely and very awesomely. But this one is even more complex, at least at first blush. And I just don't think people have enough time and or patience to sit there and build a world and build it. Like, to me, the fun of games is playing them, and having to play to build. The sort of the input-output equation was not balanced enough for me in Little Big Planet. I spent like 10 hours building a level and then ran through it in like 2 minutes, and to me that was just a bore and a waste of time. I'm sure there will be, like I said, small group of people that really love it, but I'm not so excited, sadly, for that one. I know a lot of people thought it demoed well and looked cool. I can't really get into it. Let's see. Cassius Ho-Ho says, if you had the chance to play one old school game right now, which would it be and why? Mario 64, I'm really jonesing for some Mario action lately, and that's probably my favorite one. And or even Mario Galaxy 2. I know it's not really old school. But if I was going to go real old school, yeah, I think Mario 64 is a good choice. Gamers for Life Official said, did I get any summer sale games off of Xbox? I haven't yet, but I'm planning on doing that. I know the sale ends today, but I want to pick up Rockstar Table Tennis for $3. If you don't know what this is, Xbox Live is doing sort of a summer sale with really cheap prices on a lot of games. They've been doing daily deals, and then there's some that have lasted throughout the entirety of the promotion, and their digital games, which I want to start transitioning more of my stuff to digital. As much as I like the box on the shelf, I'm so running out of space for Xbox games. I literally have probably, God, close to 200 Xbox 360 games right now, and I've used up like wall-size shelves, 3 of them, and still have stacks everywhere. Anyhow, I am going to be transitioning to digital stuff, so I'll pick up a couple. I don't remember what else exactly is there, but I know that Rockstar Table Tennis was one that I wanted to grab. Pandorla says, did you read guides while playing Dark Souls, or did you learn everything from playing? I learned everything from playing and from you guys. I bought the hardcover strategy guide, and I ended up never using it for gameplay because there were so many great comments and tips in the videos that I didn't need it, and I kind of like just learning and exploring, and that gives the best reaction, the most natural sort of gameplay loop, rather than like, I know to go here. It was frustrating at points, incredibly frustrating at points, but it was a worthwhile journey overall. Let's find some people who haven't asked questions already. Let's see. Ben says, did I find where the spider came from? I didn't. If you didn't know, there's a wolf spider in my house the other night, and it was terrifying. And honestly, it was about this big. It was like 3 inches in diameter, like not the like entire like width of an orange, but like an orange. Which is just never seen anything like that in close proximity, and it was terrifying. I hate bugs as is. I'm afraid of ants, sadly, and it just. Whew, it was nasty. I ran and hid with Noah in his bedroom while everybody else took care of it. Let's see. MJ the MC, I will answer this question. What's your favorite console of all time? I think the Super Nintendo, probably. I really like the form factor. I like the very physical nature of the on-off switch. I know it's a simple and sort of silly thing to like, but it really felt cool to me. Purple and silver was a nice color combo, and there's so many good games. Super Mario World, Uniracers, Earthworm Jim, Donkey Kong Country, I could go on and on. Just a plethora of really fun titles to play on kind of a perfect controller and perfect unit. Someone asked a question about State of Decay. I don't even understand it. I don't even understand. That game is weird. It soured on me a little bit because it has so much promise, and then it becomes incredibly, almost devious in the way that it's designed, because characters go missing when they shouldn't. It makes no sense. Why is someone like Ed getting lost across the road 3 times in a row? The system is so systematic that it almost takes away from any sort of believability and just becomes this by-the-numbers exercise in like strict simulation, which I don't think really does it any favors. It's still a fun game. I still enjoy it. It didn't evolve how I wanted or how I thought it should. Let's see. Badgerface22 says, who is your favorite game critic? I don't know if I have a favorite specific person. The sites that I like the most are Giant Bomb and Polygon. Those are my 2 favorites, if that gives you any help in terms of reviews. Let's see what is going on. Charlie Savage says, would I ever consider playing a classic game on either the PlayStation Network or Nintendo eShop? Maybe there's a classic you've never played. I could. Sometimes I feel like 2D games or games with like pixel graphics like that, people get bored of because visually they're not like, whoa, whiz bang, all in your face. Even if I do enjoy them like Mario and stuff, sometimes I feel like people aren't as appreciative or as interested because it's more simplistic on your eyes. So I don't know if they translate well to videos. But maybe something like New Super Mario Bros. U, because it has a little bit of that HD flair, would be a cool series to do. I know Nintendo has been really weird lately, so I'm not sure what is all up with that. Joe Beeks asked, do I think I'll ever use the voice commands and gestures in Xbox One, or just stick to a physical controller? I'll stick to a physical controller. I might say Xbox One on if it works all the time. If not, goodbye Kinect. But in terms of actual gameplay, yeah, I'm going to be using a controller. I'm a controller kind of guy, and motion controls I'm kind of over. In the same way that 3D has kind of come and gone real fast, motion has long passed from me. Aiden Newman says, who is my favorite character of all time? I really like Luigi. I like SpongeBob if we're going to go like other characters that aren't gamers, or aren't in games. What is my luckiest number? Ethan, it's 13. Born on December 13th, turned 13 on Friday the 13th. Don't think it gets any more coincidental and or lucky than that. Sean Skin says, what is your favorite genre of game? I really like adventure-y shooters. I don't know. How would you classify The Last of Us? That's it. Explorative action games. Doesn't matter if they're first or third person. Let's see. If you're joining just now, I'm taking questions on Twitter, not on the YouTube comments because they're too hard to read. Follow me, twitter.com/Ghostrobo. Also, I'm going to make a little plug for myself. Follow me on Instagram, the Ghostrobo, THE Ghostrobo. We have very few followers over there, and it'd be cool to get some more people. I post weird pictures of myself and shoes and Noah and my dog and my dirty laundry and whatever else that I find that's strange and or colorful. The Ghostrobo on Instagram. If you have an account, feel free to follow me there. GM Leon 24 says, since the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are almost here, what current gen console do I think had the best run? The Xbox 360 to me sort of defines this generation because of Xbox Live, because of its sort of a lot that it did. I mean, it's gone through a lot of interesting changes. Remember when they had faceplates? Remember when they just had white controllers, and then they went all black and shimmery, and then they went tons of different exclusive consoles, and the games, they paid so much money for stuff like early access to the GTA 4 DLC and some very cool exclusives. Mass Effect started out as an exclusive to the platform. That sort of defined the generation for me. I played majority of my multi-platform games on it. If I look back and had to like pick, like, hey, the Super Nintendo was my console in that generation, and the N64 is my console in that generation, and the PS2 mixed with the GameCube were my consoles in that generation. The Xbox 360 is definitely my console this generation. The Wii had a lot of promise and some cool games. I know it sold a boatload, but targeted a different demographic that didn't really match up with my likes and dislikes exactly. PlayStation 3 was a very cool system that I actually really, really liked in a lot of ways, but the DualShock 3 I thought was a letdown. The PlayStation Network started off really rough, and some of that multi-platform development bited them really hard and delivered some kind of shaky experiences in terms of console games that were on both platforms. So I think it would be the 360, safe to say. Let's see. Ian Keith says, what's up, Ghostrobo from LA, California? What is up? I was there once. No, many times, but recently. I mean, when and how did you decide you want to become a YouTube commentator? I decided in a few weeks before my channel started, October, maybe late September 2010. I was watching CNNers play, what game would it have been then? Modern Warfare 2? Yeah. And I was like, I can do this, I love it, it's going to be fun, and then I just went forward, and I've never stopped since. Levi says, what kind of computer do you use? I now use both PC and Mac. A lot of my daily stuff gets done on my MacBook Pro, which is this that you're listening to me on right here. My recording all happens on a PC. It's a custom-built PC that I built. I don't even know the specs. I know it's sort of sad and lame. I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I do know that I got the new GTX, God, no, I'm not even remember what it's called. The new NVIDIA graphics card, what is it, a 780? Is that the new one? It's like $700. Not the $1,000 one, but I think it's $780. It's a really powerful system that does everything I need. But outside of recording, I'm a Mac guy. I have iPad and iPods and MacBooks. So, yeah. Borani Sav says, play something for us, please. I'm going to be doing a game live stream a little bit later in the week. I'll announce that when I know the exact time. This is sort of our weekly Q&A, catch-up, church with Ghostrobo, Sunday afternoon fun time. So that's what we're doing right now. Let's see. Official IGTV says, I've ever thought of doing podcasts. I have. I've actually done some podcasts before. Maybe some of you, if you're real super sleuths, could find them. Years before YouTube with my younger brother, with Jake. But I really have always wanted to do one. I just need the right crew, the right cast, and I'm sad to say that Jake isn't the right person. As much as I'd love him to be, he doesn't play enough games. He doesn't like them as much as I do. He's not as into them. He pretty much plays multiplayer with me, and then the rare awesome game, like he played Bioshock and he played Last of Us. But he's not a huge gamer, so he doesn't get into it. He doesn't know enough, and it would be me talking, him going, I like Last of Us, So I would have to find the right supporting cast, and I just never have. When I do, I will be bringing a podcast. I love long-form discussion, and I will do that. Andrew Gately, I did not get to play Infamous Second Son 3 bummer enough, a lot of stuff that you might think would have been playable at E3, there wasn't much there. It was kind of a disappointing E3, just in the sense of how much was available to play. Normally they announce consoles like the year prior at E3, and then the next year they come out. So like they'll say, hey, the Xbox 360 is coming out, blah, 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 it's 2004 E3. Then 2005 E3, they have all the games there. Well, since they're doing kind of a condensed cycle here, announce the systems 2013, release the systems 2013, there wasn't a whole lot ready, there wasn't a whole lot playable, a lot of behind closed doors video, and they were playing it for you, or maybe they weren't playing it. But yeah, hardly anything was on the show floor on those new systems. The only games that were like real next gen games were Knack, Rise, Killer Instinct. That might even be it. Yeah, there was like nothing playable that was exclusive to next gen. I mean, there was sort of some of the carryovers: Blacklight, Retribution, Warframe on PlayStation 4. There was maybe nothing more for Xbox One. Loco Cycles, some other stuff. But yeah, it was really barren when it came to next gen experiences. There was plenty of stuff, of course, for Wii U, for PS3, for 360, for Vita, for 3DS. Oh, forgive me, but not a whole lot of Xbox One, PlayStation 4 games on the show floor. Josh Nugent says, what's the best game in E3? The best game I played was Super Mario 3D World. The next best game was Zelda: Link Between Two Worlds. Nintendo stuff just blew me away. It wasn't the best game at E3. It was the best game I played. And I played all the big stuff. There was no Watch Dogs playable, no Assassin's Creed 4, no Division, no Killzone, no Infamous, no Dead Rising 3, no Titanfall, no Destiny, no Call of Duty Ghosts. Anything that people are like, what? Why did you pick this one? It wasn't playable. That's why I didn't pick it. Alright. My Zach07. What's up, Zach? You're my Zach. Or I'm my Zach. You're your Zach. I'm your Zach. My favorite game of the year so far is probably The Last of Us. I don't know. I'm trying to give it time so I don't just be like, oh my god, Last of Us, and do that like instant hype thing. Because Bioshock Infinite is really solid as well, but it's one of those two, and probably the first one at least at this point. A lot of people asking Tyler Southern same questions about favorite games so far. Yeah. Bam. Noah Henry says that it's endangered species chocolate is what I'm talking about. That might be it. I think it's what it's called. It's organic and all yummy. I don't know. I think that's what it is. Luke Parker says, what's the first game you're going to pop into that brand new PlayStation 4? Definitely Killzone Shadowfall. I think that game is going to be really good. It's so pretty. I like that you have this sort of little drone companion with you that can throw out a zipline, throw out a shield. It seems like they're really evolving that to be a little bit more like Crysis, but with Killzone control. I have always loved the weight of Killzone and the world. So pretty. I think the Helgen are a cool enemy that changes it up slightly from the typical Space Marine / Raging Zombie. So I'm really excited for that one. I think it could be a step into blossoming Killzone into maybe more of a true AAA franchise. I feel like it's always gotten sort of that tier 2 rap. Like no one really considers it like a major player. It's like, oh, Killzone, that's Sony's shooter franchise, but let's group it with Resistance and kind of shuffle it off to the side. Killzone 3 and 2 were both really good. Let's see. Couple more. I've been going almost an hour. I just start talking and then it's like, whoa. Sean Skin asks again, what's better, Injustice or Mortal Kombat 9? I like Injustice more. I like the characters more. And the individual rounds take longer. I like the one round thing lasting a long time in comparison to sort of a best 2 out of 3. I think it just adds a little bit more intensity to the battles. And then you have more time to kind of get in the flow. As someone who's not a pro fighter, a pro fighting game player, and I don't memorize all the combos, I don't have like a one character that I frame count, it's easier to like, hey, get into the groove of it, and then you have this whole sort of 2-minute chunk to battle it out, as opposed to typically, oh, stop yawning. Who's yawning out there? It's making me yawn. Is it you? Probably is you. Anyways, you have like 2 minutes to just enjoy it, as opposed to just like a 90-second thing. Nathan says, are we uploading any game videos today? Absolutely. A lot of people ask, am I to play Dark Souls 2? I get this question all the time, and the answer is yes, I am. When it comes out, it's not till 2014. So, yeah. Sabrina says, is Deadpool worth buying? Maybe for $20. It's like a sort of fun time waster game with humor that if you enjoy that kind of humor, I think you'll really like, because they do sort of push it to the edge of possibility. I don't think it's worth full price. Even it's a budget title already. It's $50, at least when I bought it. but at 40 or 50, it's a little bit of a stretch. It's such a short game. I finished that thing in like 16 episodes. So I would rent it. It's a good rental. It's like a good weekend rental. Beat it in the weekend, be done with it, spend your $8. How much do rentals cost now? I haven't rented a game in literally years, so they're probably like $11 or something crazy like that. Avorska Gaming says, in my opinion, what game has the best storyline ever? Bioshock Infinite probably has the best storyline that I've ever seen, at least in terms of a mystery or something that kept me like really guessing the whole way, and then it was like, whoa, mind blown nuclear explosion in the head after it was done. And I literally thought about that game for like 2 weeks afterwards, researched as much as I could, read as much as I could, discussed with my brother. It was a really fun time. John Smith. I was thinking Josh Smith because Josh Smith just signed with the Pistons, NBA free agency stuff. Ghost, have you ever thought about doing an older Mario game like Paper Mario or Mario 64 just to switch things up a bit? I would if people were into it. I'd hate to play it and have like 3 of us be like, yeah, Mario. Someone make an animated GIF of that. Anyways, I would like to. I've wanted to do Paper Mario. I'm going to be doing the new Mario & Luigi Dream Team when that comes out, so maybe that counts, even though it's new. It's kind of a little bit old, if you know what I'm saying. Frank Osborne says, Ghost, I love the videos, thank you. Which zombies do you prefer? Fast ones like from Left 4 Dead or slow Walking Dead, State of Decay type zombies? I think there's it depends what kind of game it is. If it's a shooter, I think the fast ones are cooler. If it's a melee, I think the slow ones are cooler. And that's typically how it boils down. Overall, I don't know, I'm not the fan of enemies that are like scratching your face constantly, so maybe I'll say slow, just because that eliminates that potential. I think there's a way to do zombies right, and I think like a game like Last of Us does it really well. Some aggressive, some very passive, some like one-hit kills, some that will charge at you, sort of like more humanistic behavior from the zombies as opposed to just like run and claw at your face. That kind of drives me crazy. Like that animation Left 4 Dead, those zombies just slapping you is a wee bit ridiculous. Emma says, when you become a full-time rapper, what will be your rapper name? I have no idea. I'm taking suggestions in the comments below. Kevin McNamara asked an interesting question. What is your favorite book or book series? World War Z is my favorite book for a long time. I haven't read that. I read it like 5 years ago, whenever it came out. 6 years ago, gosh. When I was younger, I liked all the same stuff a lot of people like. I like Harry Potter, and I liked... trying to think. I read like the Golden Compass series and stuff like that. I don't know. And I don't know that when I was very little, I read the Boxcar Children from my mom. That makes me seem really old because most of you probably don't even know what that is. But I guess modern. I read so much on the internet that I don't really read books, and people are always like, "Go read more books," and I'm like, well, I read a lot. It's just all like articles and or forums and or magazines. It's not really books. Maybe I should get on that so I could have a more favorite, a better book to tell you guys here. Let's see. Heartbreaker says, if everything was illegal, what would you want to do? I have no idea. If everything was legal, probably play games and record YouTube videos. Like, guys, it's illegal. I'm going to be put in jail, but we got to get it out there. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny indeed. Livia29 says, hey, Ghost, what video game world would you want to live in and why? Interesting question. Where would I want to live? I guess it depends if I have to just be me in there or if I get to be someone. Like, can I live in the Infamous world and become Cole? Can I live in Mario and be Mario, or do I have to be like me? I think the Mario will be pretty fun. Stomping Goombas, you know, you could just get all like, with Princess Peach and ride Yoshi around, and that would be pretty awesome. So I guess I'll say that. MJ the MC has an interesting question. Have you gotten mentioned 3 times this video, sir? You should be very proud of yourself. Have you ever had a job other than YouTube, and did you like it? No, I didn't like it. I worked for a small clothing company as sort of their computer shipment guy. That was really boring. And I was really fast, and I thought that my speed should equate to more dollars, and it didn't work that way. So I was like, well, why am I working so fast? I worked for Best Buy for about 3-4 months before YouTube, and then YouTube came around. I was like, whoo! It was so boring. I'm like constantly thinking. I'm a very energetic person, and walking around that store, helping people look for DVDs, like just dull. I liked it when it was busy because it was more engaging, but man, even then, and I hated like the managers always wanted you to push accessories on people that they didn't need, so I tried to be honest and just be like, you don't really need this. Or I'd be like, around Christmas time, I'd try to help moms out. Like if I knew there was a much better sale at a different store, I'd be like, you know, you didn't hear this from me, but the 3DS bundle is on sale at Amazon for $50 cheap. Because it's just like, I don't know, a lot of the people that come into those stores are usually buying stuff for their kids, and I get all like sentimental and emotional about that just because I want people to have, I don't know, I just don't like corporate greed and crap. So it was boring and morally gray, and I don't know, I did not like wearing the stupid blue polo, and they gave me one that was a little bit too big, and that always bothered me, so. Blech. I also, when I was a little bit younger than that, like out of high school, I just did stuff on eBay. I didn't really have like a set job. I tutored a lot too, and I coached basketball. That's a great job. I love that job. I love coaching basketball. I coached AAU, and I head coached high school basketball. Awesome, super fun. Not very lucrative. Super fun. I get private basketball lessons. Those are pretty lucrative and very fun. Private tutoring, that is pretty lucrative and pretty fun. So that's a couple that I really enjoy. O'Brien Love OK says favorite band if you have one. I don't have a favorite band, but I have favorite people in music. I really like Jay-Z. I really like Kanye. I really like J. Cole. I really like Kid Ink right now. Those are probably my top 4 at the current time. And Lil Wayne is when he's not psychotic, it's a good favorite. Let's see. Couple more before we get out of here. So many questions. I honestly have 355 more. And I've gone through so many. You guys are awesome asking so many questions. If you have a good one, save it for next time we do this. That's why I gotta do these every week. There's so many good questions. And I never think you're gonna come up with new ones. But somehow people do, and they're always awesome. And sometimes weird, like this one from Dragonflame. Would I rather have a dog-sized horse or a horse-sized dog? Dog-sized horse, little baby horse would be kind of cute. That would be funny. That would be funny. That would be funny. A lot of people asking, like, did I get your entry? Yeah, if you tweeted to me, I probably got it. Did I get it like I already read it? Probably not, because there's literally, like I said, 2,000 of them. And so that is a little bit tricky. Michael Beretta says, am I going to go see Pacific Rim? I don't know. It looks like a kind of movie that could be either really horrible or okay. I can't see it being great. I like Guillermo del Toro. I think he does good work. Pan's Labyrinth was really cool, but giant robots against giant aliens or whatever the heck that whole storyline is kind of, I don't know. I have no idea how that's gonna pan out, turn out, pan out, turn out, turn out, pan. Nick says, do I think that the next gen consoles will have technical problems at launch like the Red Ring of the Death? No, they've had more time to sort of iron this down. It's very similar architecture. While more powerful, it's more similar architecture to the current stuff, I think, and they know about those issues, so I'm assuming that they're prepping and planning for them more cautiously would be my guess. I don't think you're going to have to worry about that at all. I never know, but I don't know. More people asking about GTA, yes. Eric says, that big Eric says, are you excited for the Final Fantasy X remaster? That is my favorite Final Fantasy, and I never finished it, so I am. I don't know that I'll play it because it comes out in the fall at a time when there's going to be so much other stuff. But I'll probably buy it, and I'll probably like go through a little bit of it just because I like that world. I like those characters. It was kind of my my one and only favorite true Final Fantasy. David Cross says, "What's my favorite song?" Current favorite song is "Holy Grail" off of Magna Carta Holy Grail. But that evolves all the time. I don't really have like a tried and true all-time favorite. It's basically like what my current favorite is. Like I said, I'm very easily bored and very. I jump around a lot with movies, games, shows, music, stuff like that. George Wolf says, hey, Ghost, what's the plan on the new series? I don't know yet. I've been trying to figure that out. I'll have it decided, hopefully, by today. Mia asks, what is my favorite children's game that I've played lately? Favorite children's game? How do I qualify this? I mean, like, Lego City Undercover is pretty cool, but that is really long old now, and I thought that was recent because I'm only on episode 20, but it's pretty old. My favorite, it gotta be the stuff at E3 then. Super Mario World, the new Super Mario 3D World, the new Mario Kart. People will qualify those as kids games. I don't really think of them that way, but they have sort of a fun and friendly and cutesy aesthetic, and they're all awesome. New Super Mario World, 3D World, confusing name, gosh. Mario Kart 8, the new Zelda for 3DS. All the Nintendo stuff, I guess people will be like, it's a kids game, and I really like all of that. If we're talking like true kids game, I think like Lego City Undercover, again, that's kind of not really, there's not really many true kids games anymore, unless you're going to go play like Dora's Magical Adventures versus Swiper the Fox, which would probably be a sweet fighting game, but instead it's a lame point-and-click baby adventure. I don't know. I think the Lego games are probably the best example of a children's game that has crossed over into a legit fun game, and then the Mario stuff, people want to qualify that as kids stuff, is really fun. Always has been, always will be, until they make too many. Let's see. Angel Pink says, what kind of sports are you into now? My favorite sports right now are basketball and football. I was out of basketball for a while, even when I was coaching, because the NBA just got boring. My favorite team, the Pistons, sucked, and I basically hated it since LeBron went to Miami and the whole... Just the NBA is the league I think is most likely to be rigged. I think that the whole concept of having a bunch of stars on a few big city teams is lame. There isn't much parity. So I got really into the NFL. I love the Detroit Lions, but I'm back into the NBA. Excited for the Pistons this coming season. They just signed Josh Smith. Not really so much into hockey, soccer, golf, although I watch them sparingly. And play them occasionally. Basically a basketball, football kind of person right now. Let's see. I'm going to take 3 more because my voice is going already. I've been talking for so long. Let's see. Is there a giraffe? Someone said there's a giraffe by me. Where's there a giraffe? I'm like so confused. Nice giraffe. I don't even really... Someone just tweeted me nice giraffe. I don't see one. Strange. Let's see. Jessa says, your thoughts on any Zelda game? I like them. I usually never finish them. They're too slow and plodding early on. I hope the new Zelda, the Wii U one, is either a true open world and does some very unique things with like dungeons, sort of Darksiders-esque, or that they expedite the process and kind of make it a more hard-hitting, set-piece-driven adventure. I know that would take away from some of the exploration, but if they made the story more centered, more featured, it would be really cool, and you would not have to deal with the let's talk for 2 hours and learn how to collect rupees, because that gets old so fast. I've done it 10 times, and I don't want to do it again. Let's see. Call of Duty asking about releases of PS4 and Xbox One. I have no idea. I'm not privy to any stuff about that. Alright, I'm going to do, while I wait for gosh. There are still 263 questions I haven't even gone through, and we've been streaming for over 70 minutes. Pretty awesome. You guys are great. Couple people asking, what's the name of the Instagram? It's The Ghostrobo. Ghostrobo was already taken for some stupid reason. But it's The Ghostrobo. THE Ghostrobo. The Ghostrobo. The Ghostrobo. Whatever you want to say. Following me there would really make my day. That's my jingle. I wrote it for Old Navy. Okay. Jake has all these action figures in his room, so I'm just going to show you some of them for the heck of it. This is some weird Mega Man guy. This is a very deformed bobblehead of Megatron. My personal favorite. Oh god, I'm breaking it. It's going to kill me. The Darth Vader Mighty Mug. His hat is on. Hey, there you go, buddy. Creepy, big-headed Kermit the Frog. Miniature Wolverine keychain. Very strange Kangaskhan keychain. Little baby. Metallic Iron Man. You can pinch his head. Some very strange. I think this is a Tokidoki figure. Yeah, Tokidoki figure. Spiky cat thing. Miniature Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. Proto Man from Mega Man. A very delicious unicorn from Tokidoki. A beheaded pink Yoshi. Let's see, a Starman Broken Arts and Crafts thing. A little, what is her name? Someone from Incredibles that designs their costumes. A metal Magneto. A tiny Lucario from the Nintendo World Store in New York City. A very scary metal thing. It really is the thing. A color-changing Randall. A super small... Oh, God, what's this guy's name? It's a guy from Avengers 2. I'm blanking. What is his name? I don't remember what his name is. Let's see, anything more awesome? Yeah, here we go. A Peppermint Domo. A skateboarding dog with a lightning bolt on its forehead. And, let's see, one more. Ooh. I'll show you 2 more. A black and white Frieza figure from Dragon Ball Z and a colored Piccolo figure from Dragon Ball Z. There's tons more, but it would take me a long time to show them off. So we hope you like that show and tell. It's not mine, it's Jake's. But yeah. The Undead says, can I show you a picture of when I was a baby? If you go on Instagram, I think I have a picture on there, or two. Follow me at the Ghostrobo on Instagram, and there's a couple pictures of when I was a very blonde baby. Because I had incredibly blonde hair when I was younger. And then it got dark over time. Slowly but surely it got darker and darker. When I became like 13, 14 and started darkening, 16, 17, darker, and now it's like there's no hints of blonde at all anymore. Let's see. So much questions, I'm going to skip the top. So much questions. Matt asks, what is the Pokemon that resembles you the most? I have no idea. I'll let you guys tell me. I don't know. What do I look like? What kind of Pokemon? I'm very interested to see what you guys say. Pick a nice one. The giraffe. There is no giraffe. People are saying there's a giraffe. There is no giraffe around me. This thing is like a leopard cat. There's no giraffe. I can see the camera and there's no giraffe by me. What are you talking about? I'm freaking out that there's a giraffe and I can't find it. I don't even know. Oh, I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna show you something. Okay, because we're in Jake's room, I hardly ever get to show you his stuff. But this was an art project he did that I love from high school. It's totally random. These aren't like characters or anything, but I thought it was so cool. It's a 3D clay sculpture, and I'm really afraid I'm gonna drop it right now, so I'm gonna gently set it down. But I love the little like weird angry guy with the balloon, and there's a flying pig and a creepy bird in the sunshine. And if I moved, he was gonna give it to me, and I didn't move, so then I didn't get it. Anyways, two more questions, then I gotta go. I gotta record videos for the rest of the day. Thanos! Yes, that's his name. The weird guy, I don't know. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Immortal Monster says, are you pumped for Beyond Two Souls? Yes, I am. I think it'll be good. I'm worried it's not going to live up to the last of us, but what I played at E3 was fun. An improvement on Heavy Rain, and the storyline seems very intense. There was a child soldier gunning people down with an AK, and that was kind of crazy. Let's see. Case says, what is the best birthday Christmas present I've ever gotten? When I was 13, I turned 13 on Friday the 13th. I've been talking about it since I was a little baby. And so my parents surprised me with the trip to Disney World, which was like the greatest present ever and probably the most expensive gift I've ever gotten by far. I mean, my whole family got to go on vacation, so it was like a win-win for everybody, but it felt like it was delivered specifically to me, and that was really, really fun. And the last question of the day comes from, I'm waiting, they're literally just popping through like bam, 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 bam. Ooh, good question from RedPin99. What would you think of an Infamous Second Son multiplayer? That'd be awesome. Like, you get to level up your hero and pick different powers, different skill trees. That could be so sweet. I don't know if it would just be deathmatch or objective-based, but I think it could be really cool. I don't know if like the firing, like bam, 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 really lends itself to multiplayer, but I think it could be awesome. Flying around cities, it could be a complete disaster, or it could be really cool. Not really sure. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of you that joined me on the live stream, I'll make sure to announce the next one beforehand, give you guys a chance to enjoy it and see when it's going to be out. I try to do these at kind of staggered times so it can appeal to everybody around the world as best as I humanly can. I know that I can't reach every time zone at the right time, but you can always watch the videos on the channel after they go live. About 20 to 30 minutes after the live stream concludes, it processes through YouTube's oven, and then boom, out comes the beautiful cake of me answering literally like 100-some odd questions. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hope you're having a great weekend. A beautiful big week of summer. July is starting off here, and I have no idea what I'm going to play, but I'll figure it out and I'll let you guys know. More stuff coming later this day as well. So videos. Thanks for making this awesome. Love these live streams. You guys always come up with great questions. Appreciate it a lot. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Ghostrobo. Follow me on Instagram at the Ghostrobo on Instagram. You don't really do that from the internet, do you? Kind of more of an app thing than an Instagram.com thing. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up this live stream right now. So long. Farewell to you.